Week 11, buy lows. These are the top players to buy low in Week 11. And don't complain and say, Smitty, no one's selling Gibbs low. No one's selling HN low or Cooper Kupp, Smitty. These guys are being sold lower than they should be. Sometimes that scale is different. Sometimes we're buying a big name player because they're cheaper. You're buying them lower than you should be. Other names on this list are true definitions of the buy low term maybe you're used to, like an MHJ right now. Seller dweller pricing. Go buy these guys walking into week number 11. Go buy them now before it's too late. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now. Graveyard style, baby. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live whenever graveyard shifts should be live. We're live most graveyards, most midnights Eastern. We were built. The show was built, as we say. This Smitty was built on graveyard shows, and that's kind of always been a trend of this channel, to be live graveyard style when people are usually not live. That's how we do it. This is a real important show because I think a lot of you are in a position right now where you really need a spark in order to either climb back into playoff contention or maybe just kind of top off what you're doing already and become that team to beat. And I think when we talked about it earlier on the 8 p.m. show, really started digging into the MHJ buy low territory and scenarios that you guys had. And it just feels like he's probably one of the better acquisitions based on cost of entry, based on the baked in value that this man holds right now, the absolute 100% baked in risk. If you buy him and he doesn't deliver the expectation we quietly have, you're still getting your money back. You're still getting every bit of what you invest right now. However, if he does what I believe he can do, if he bounces back in the way I believe he can bounce back, you win a league. The same thing can be said for Breece Hall. The same thing can be said for James Cook, probably one of the craftiest RB buy lows this week. I think he's a running back one. He might be low variety style, but you buy him as a running back two. His owners are freaking out. You must have Ray Davis. Ray Davis and Cook are a must-cuff situation, no doubt about it. No hesitation, no equivocation. You need to have the duo. Just like anybody tempted to drop Braylon Allen if you own Breece Hall, that's a no-no. You need the duo. The duo is important. Those of you that have Kareem Hunt, you should be going after Pacheco. Those that have Pacheco should have Kareem Hunt. Gibbs is not somebody you need to cuff. Achan's not somebody you need to cuff necessarily, but it's nice to have right if you can do it. ETN, Bigsby and ETN are a good combo, but ETN's a crafty go get and buy in a 2-for-1 trade. These are all potential in some way, shape, or form league winners. The biggest swings are probably Hall. The biggest bang for your buck is probably Hall, probably MHJ. I think Debo's fantastic value. HN, Gibson, and Pacheco and Hall, these guys are outstanding go-forward runners. And I'm not saying you're going to get HN cheaply, but when I get messaged 5 times an hour, it seems, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a text from a buddy, whether it's a message from somebody on the Patreon. Denny, call back in just 1 second. You can't call in the monologue, bro. I don't answer the phone for anybody on the monologue. So Denny, dial in. I'm gonna close the phone line out, Denny. You keep dialing. Dial in after the monologue. Achan is probably one of the best buy low players in fantasy right now. Why, I don't understand, but again, I'm getting 5 to 6 to 7 messages, maybe an hour right now, that aren't like, hey, I want to give them away necessarily, but why people are even knocking on my door at all right now to ask whether they should move on from Achan. I think part of it, and I know part of it, is fear that the offense is just maybe not where it needs to be. The second fear is coupled with that, the fact that if this team is out down and out and not in playoff contention, do they shut everybody down? That's not the way it works. If he's healthy, he's going to play. Achan's a competitor. I'm a competitor. If you were out there, every one of us would want to play ball. I think it's the diva wide receivers or the older players in their 30s or running back that's 28, wide receiver that's 30, 31, that might potentially say to themselves, you know, I think I should just be safe here. I might have 1 or 2 years left, maybe 1.5 years left. Let me pack it in week 15 in a nothing burger year. This is something I could see Adams doing. This is something I could see Tyreek Hill doing. Even though he's a buy low, he's also a very, very, very good sell high. Not that you could sell them that high, but get out as high as you can if you can situation. There's sometimes dual purpose to these players. Sometimes there's 2 angles to come from. There's a buy low angle and a get out of dodge angle, and that's the case for Tyreek Hill. That's the case for CeeDee Lamb. Buying CeeDee Lamb low is fantastic. Buying them at, I don't know, top of round 3 type return value, I'll do that. But getting out of CeeDee Lamb in mid-second round value or in a creative 2 for 2 that makes the person feel like they're getting a bargain, but you're buying one of their players very low, so you're able to get out of Lamb a little lower than you want because you're buying a buy low player a lot cheaper than you would normally have to, maybe the week prior or a week after. I mean, that's the kind of thing you could do with Lamb. Lamb's a buy low and a sell high. Hill's a buy low and a sell high. Neighbors is a buy low and sell high, maybe. The rest of these guys, only Hill, only Lamb, and partially Neighbors are concerns enough to sell in any scenario where you can sell high, but good enough to buy in every buy low situation. MHJ is frankly just a flat out bargain buy low. And if you think MHJ is too inconsistent, I get it. And that's why you're buying low. You're packaging in every single bit of risk you can possibly package in. There's no concern here. There's no worry about getting your return on investment. Your ROI is baked into the value. Baked in. Just completely baked in. If I'm wrong and MHJ doesn't produce consistent value and return on investment, guess what? You get your value back. Maybe you contemplate benching him certain weeks based on matchups. That's your worst case scenario. Your worst of scenarios is this doesn't work out like we want. You break even, you put him on the bench, whatever. If I'm right about this kid, and I know I am right about his talent, if I'm right about his talent in conjunction with how they plan to use him go forward, not just go routes like they have kind of been using him downfield, very focalized, focused use of this guy, not letting him move around all over the field, not taking advantage of all of his abilities. I think the Cardinals, in the position they're in right now, are ready to expand his route tree and put him in positions to help them win games. Teams will be gunning for the Cardinals as they start to look like maybe one of the more surprising rising star teams in this National Football League. This team is absolutely coming for everybody. They're gritty. Any team that plays them will tell you. Any team that plays them tells you that these guys fight to the end. They can put up a fight against anybody, even in games where they lose. They're gritty. They're very tough. And I think they're at this point in the season, they're going to start saying, let's start getting MHJ in positions to help us win. We're going to need him now more than ever as people gun for Kyler, as people try and shut down Connor, and make sure that this game does try and win through the air because they've been a little inconsistent through the air. That's when MHJ is going to step up. There probably are very few players in the National Football League that have multiple touchdown capability at the wide receiver position. There are very few players that have more of that capability than MHJ. Very few. He has the 2 touchdown capability that anybody in the National Football League has at the wide receiver position. He is a absolute dog, and he's only going to get better, and he's the hardest working wide receiver probably in the National Football League. That might not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to me. It means a lot to me because I know that whatever deficiencies he's potentially struggling with as a rookie, because rookies are up and down, they have some weaknesses. Not everything is a strength. This guy will turn his weaknesses into a strength because of his work ethic. He's out catching footballs when everybody else is going home. He catches hundreds of footballs extra than any other wide receiver on the team. His wide receivers, when he came in as a rookie, said, I can't wait to learn from him. Veteran wide receivers said, I can't wait to learn from him when they were asked, what do you think about MHJ being drafted? He's an absolute veteran inside a rookie's body, and the lack of production and the inconsistency has nothing to do with him. The only gripe or complaint you can have is, hey, Smitty, I think the Cardinals will continue to misuse him. That's your only argument. It's a good one. It's one that keeps us from ranking him anywhere near where we did preseason, August, September. We had him in the top 15. It was too high. Has he busted thus far? Absolutely. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say he's been pretty. He's busted on people. He's disappointed from weeks 1 through 10 in terms of the expectation you had. I had. Pretty much everybody had, because his ADP was in the 11 to 10 to 12 range for a while. It did drop back down comfortably in the 14-15 territory as we headed into the beginning of September. But ADP early on was 11, 12, 13, 14. And do I regret ranking him that high? No, I don't. Would I be scared off from ranking Genty, the running back that we know is going to be the running back 1 rookie overall in 2025? Am I scared of ranking him high because some rookies underperformed this year based on the draft ADP expectation? Absolutely not. I don't get scared about what's happened in the past. What's happened in the past doesn't always tell you what's going to happen in the future. So make that known right now. I ain't scared of nothing in terms of ranking rookie players. They're all separate individual cases, case by case, different situations. MHJ, I don't run from MHJ's weeks 11 through 17 because of his weeks 1 through 10. I look at this as a second rookie season, part 2, part 2. And this guy's coming for blood. The Cardinals are coming for everybody. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl or anything crazy, but they're gritty and they're going to put up a fight. And this guy's going to be a big part of it. Breece Hall, buy him low while everybody thinks that his team's down and out and they're going to give up on everybody, bench everybody. I don't know what it is that people think that's going to happen in week 11. Week 11, 12, 13. If he gets banged up, would the team be careful with him in weeks 15, 16, 17? It's possible, but you can't play scared. Scared money don't make money. And Breece Hall last year was in a nothing burger season then, and he ended up climbing back into running back 2 overall by having these strong finishes. Week 14, week 16, week 17, week 18. He was an absolute monster. Finished number 2 overall for running backs after having a very slow start. Some sporadic, really good play here. Some sporadic play here, and finished the season on a tear. So if anybody's going to be an example of somebody that's going to play tough at the end of a season, it's going to be Breece Hall. So if you can get him anywhere near mid to late second round return value, that risk is 100%, 100% baked in. Always baked in value. Always baked in value. All this stuff is baked in value. When you buy low, you're buying baked in value. Even when you're buying a big name player like a Gibbs, people say, oh, no one's selling Gibbs cheap. If you're buying him and it's packaging in risk, which it is because Gibbs is thought to be playing second fiddle, he's getting 40% something volume, going to be scared of that. Smitty, Monty's going to eat into it. Monty's not going away. Monty. This guy has baked in value because guess what I think he is? Not a top 5 running back, a top 1 to 5 running back. Guess what Breece Hall is to me going forward? Not a top 6 running back, a top 1 to 6 running back. Meaning Gibbs or Hall, any given Sunday, maybe overall from weeks 11 through 17, both have the capability of being the number 1 overall running back. I'll put a range on there, 1 to 6, 1 to 5, because I know what time it is. But both these guys have the capability of being the number 1 overall running back at the end of the season. This guy, Achane, has the capability of being the number 1 overall running back. Do I draft him there? No. But the capability alone means he dances and has cups of coffee with the 1, the 2, the 3 overall running back. He could be number 1, 2, 3 times in weeks 11 through 17. Maybe his end of season production, His end of season, weeks 1 through 17, average. The sum totals of their 17 weeks don't put them 1, 2, 3. But Achane, Gibbs, and Hall all have the ability to be the number 1 overall running back from this point until week 17. There's no hesitation in my mind. There's zero hesitation in my mind. So you want a running back that could surprise everybody and be number 1 from weeks 11 through 17. Achane's your guy. If Achane's not available, Gibbs is your guy. If Gibbs isn't available, Hall is your guy. And if those guys aren't available, Cook is a damn fine top 8 to 12, top 7 to 12 potential running back. And this team is ravaged with injuries, this Buffalo Bills squad. You know what Josh Allen did before last week's game? The night before, he met, I believe had dinner or drinks or whatever with James Cook to solidify what's going on, to have a big boy meeting, to have a veteran meeting about how to make sure everything's in sync and in tune. James Cook is a big part of the Buffalo Bills plans going forward. A must-cuff situation with Ray Davis, though. Ray Davis is the best rags to riches running back you can find on waiver wires right now, potentially in deeper leagues. This is a must-cuff situation. Mark my words, Ray Davis would ball the hell out if Cook ever got hurt. This is a safe duo. Pacheco, there's risk involved, but it's high upside. Debo, crap on him all you want. Say he's made of glass. He hasn't really delivered since the injury to Ayuk, the season-ending ACL and MCL, all the massive knee injury to Ayuk. He hasn't delivered yet, but he's still the best weapon on this team aside from Christian McCaffrey. That's even if Christian McCaffrey can get back to form, and he didn't exactly look to form last week. We give McCaffrey the benefit of the doubt, but this still could be the glue to the team. And top 6 to 10 wide receiver potentials in the cards. Hopkins, this guy is, everybody loves him, but he's cheap. I don't know why people don't value him like a top 10 wide receiver. He's got top 10 wide receiver potential written all over him. Neighbors, equal fear and equal upside. MHJ has Kyler. MHJ has the Cardinals. MHJ has a season that's in the middle of a division win type of hunt going on in Arizona. Neighbors has trash. Neighbors has no quarterback. Neighbors has no quarterback after the no quarterback after. This is a guy that might see 2 different faces between now and the end of the season under center. Maybe 3. This is a guy that plays for a trash organization right now. I'm not saying they've always been. I'm not saying in general. I'm not talking about the fan base. But the Giants are the worst run organization, maybe aside from, it's really the Bears and the Giants right now. Not suggesting that the histories don't tell you some different story or that they have good history. I'm telling you right now, the Giants are trash because of Joe Shine, the worst GM in the National Football League. I'm telling you right now that Dable is in a way over his head. He's a great cultivator when you hand him talent, but he doesn't know how to evaluate talent before it gets in the door, apparently. Or he needs a kick in the rear end to go back in, find another quarterback. Maybe they bring in Shedeur Sanders. That would be unbelievable for Neighbors' dynasty value. But for redraft, there's huge concern. And we had this conversation on the 8 p.m. show. Is do we like Neighbors or MHJ going forward? It's easy to want to say Neighbors based on what he did at the beginning of the year. But he's probably the most likely player to get hurt on this entire board aside from Debo and Hill because of the current, the age and the injury history of Debo, and then the fact that he's got a torn tendon in his wrist. This guy's getting fed hospital ball after hospital ball. His risk of injury has nothing to do with his pedigree or his injury history. It has to do with that he's got concussed and laid out. Yet last week he got a hospital ball thrown to him way up in the air that hung up forever. He had to jump up, got nailed in the back of the hamstring. And this guy had to go out. Looked like he was done for the season. There's multiple hits he's taking per week. He has the most injury risk because of his situation and his situation alone. Doesn't mean he's not a good buy low, because his owners know this. His owners fear this. His owners are freaking out. So he's that dual situation. Do you get rid of him in a package deal? Probably, if you own him. Do you buy him in a deal because his current owner is scared to death? Probably. He's a dual purpose player for different angles and vantage points. Same thing with Tyreek Hill. Same thing with Lamb. Cooper Kupp is the only player. DK, real quick. DK and Evans. Evans coming off injury. I still buy him. There's some risk, but it feels like he doesn't hold high-end running or wide receiver 1 value. Kind of feels like he almost has like high-end wide receiver 2 value right now, which is good value. DK, same thing. People don't value him as a one. He's a 1. He's a fantasy football 1. Might be an 8 to 12, but a fantasy football wide receiver 1. You've got one player like JJ or maybe a Barkley or Henry, and you can't win. I'm not saying trade any of those guys if you're winning. If you're winning, don't try and fix what isn't broken. But if you look in the mirror and you say, my team's trash, my team's been ravaged with injuries, or I'm not playing up to speed, or I can't even make the playoffs if I don't win out. If you need to make a trade and you own Barkley, Henry, JJ, Jamar Chase, and you need to make a trade, you have to or it's over, then you're going after DK and a running back. You're going after Hall and DK. You're going after Gibbs and DK. You're going after Cook and DK. You're going after Achane and DK. You're going after Cooper Kupp and Gibbs. You're going after Cook and Cooper Kupp. You're trying to get 2 players. One's a running back 1, one's a wide receiver 1, and both could have cups of coffee in their own right with the said player you're giving up. That's how you win a 2-for-1. That's how you give yourself a shot. Cooper Kupp, not the cheapest guy to get, but he's damn undervalued still. These are the buy lows for week number 11. I don't think you'll find a better buy low show on YouTube or in the fantasy football space, because we do it live and we do it better than anybody. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. Let's go to the super chats. Let's open the phone lines in a minute. I'll go to Denny in a second, who's probably still calling as we speak, because I don't know if Denny fell asleep or not. Let's hit these super chats real quickly, and then we'll hit the phone lines. This one here is from KT. KT says 8-2. Appreciate your super chat, by the way. 8-2. B. Robinson, K9, and Devontae Adams Tracy for DK and Hall. DK and Hall. I probably say, geez, if that's Bijan Robinson, K9, you got to be clear about it, man. There's 2 B Robs. Bijan Robinson, K9, and Devontae Adams and Tracy. That's a lot. I think you got to take that side of the trade. If it's Brian Robinson, then the DK Hall side crushes. But I don't know. That's tough. I probably lean toward the Bijan side. That's a lot of talent. And not to mention, I think I could turn Adams and Tracy into a wide receiver like Debo or something, and then I crush that other side. You know what I mean? That's kind of where my mind goes with that kind of question. If that's Brian Robinson Jr., it's not even close then. Thoughts on Christian Watson rest of season? Kind of like his upside. I do like his upside. I think he's available in about 50% of leagues, so he's a fantastic player to pick up. But he's an injury risk, but there's some upside for sure. Traded MHJ Tracy for Achane. That could go either way. I don't want to act like I don't love those other pieces, bro. They're fantastic. Let me get off this screen and go back over to the buy low screen. Let me see if I can get over here. This video dropped. This is the 8 p.m. show. Make sure you go check that out. Where was this at? Traded MHJ and Tracy. This could go either way, bro. If you need the depth, the MHJ Tracy side is crafty and nice. If you have depth, then I love Achane. Achane for Cook and Evans, so that's what you do after that. Achane, let's see, traded MHJ Tracy for Achane, then Achane for Cook and Evans. That could work out. Yeah, that's okay. Danny, if you needed a trade, I'm fine with the end result of what you cooked up. But it's tough for me to trade Achane, I'll tell you that. Herbert or JD5 this week? I'll probably go JD5 this week, my boy. I don't think I could sit him. I don't think I could sit him at all. Let me see if I can. Let me pull up something real quick. Yes, JD5 to me is I just want to see if I want to see if JD5 is JD5 at home. I forget if he's at home or on the road. This is the Thursday game, right? Thursday at Philly. Philly's playing tough. I'd probably say though, it's a tough call. Chargers are at home against the Bengals, and that's the Sunday night game, spotlight game. Herbert. Chat, can we vote on this one? Are you going to go Herbert at home against the Bengals on Sunday Night Football, or are you going to go JD5 Thursday night against the Eagles on a dreaded Thursday game? I don't know. Last Thursday was pretty good to us. I'm going to lean JD5. But it's definitely arguable, and let's see what the chat thinks. I just can't sit JD5. I don't. He's a playmaker, bro. Pacheco for my Adams. I have Hunt. I would take Pacheco to secure up that running back combo, my boy. I think that's a good move. Offered MHJ, Connor, and Benson for my CD, Monty. I probably would take the CD Monty side, Andre, but it's close, it's arguable, but give me the upside with that crew. That's just a little bit better side of the trade in my opinion, but it's, arguable. It's not a lambasting on any level. Got offered St. Brown, Chubb, Addison for CMC and Adams. I would rather have CMC and Adams by a hair. But this is taking into account that I'd need running backs and all that. If I was loaded at RB, then I wouldn't do this trade. Yes, Kittle, swap out Addison for Kittle. Absolutely would rather have. So if you're getting, so I'd say don't do that trade, the first one. If you're getting Kittle and St. Brown, I would do that. I would do that trade. Dallas, I'd get Kittle. That's a nice advantage. And then I'd shop Kittle potentially if I could get into something that I shouldn't be getting into. Got offered Lamb and Hill for my A.J. Brown and Dowdle. I would take Hill and Lamb. That's too much to pass on. One of those guys should work out. I would definitely take that risk. Guys, final offer is Mahomes, K9, Estime, and MHJ or Neighbors for Bijan, Algier, JD5. So MHJ, Mahomes, and K9 for Bijan, JD5. MHJ, K9, Mahomes. Guys, we'd rather have Bijan and JD5 over Mahomes, K9, and MHJ, right? Can we vote on that one? I want at least 10 votes on that one. That one's crazy because we're weighing out a top 1 to 5 running back in Bijan. We don't know what Walker is. We don't know, even though we love the buy low value. Remember why we're buying low. There's risk. There's doubt. There's ups and downs. There's inconsistency on both the Neighbors and MHJ side of this. So really it's like there's a bunch of question marks over here that I like some of them, but Bijan's secure. I'm going to say Bijan. We got JD5 Bijan, JD5 Bijan, JD5 Bijan without a doubt. So laughing, the chat is voting as well as myself, Bijan all the way. $10 hauler traded Tyreek and Jennings for AJB. That's safe. I'm fine with that. Who should I look to trade Smith for? Smith and maybe Chase Brown for a monster. Smith and Chase Brown for Kyron, Gibbs, Achan type of player. You've got Gibbs already, so I guess Kyron or Achan potentially. You could go after a JJ type, would work for that. I mean, you have to get the world for that. You have to get a top 5 player at the position. Maybe you won't get the number 1 like Chase or something, but you could get JJ. Jesse, it'd have to be something massive like that. Something absolutely like life-changing. 2 QB, 2 running back flex. Hurts, JD5, love the duo. Pacheco, Hunt, like it. Hall, love it. Najee, expendable. AJB, Sutton, expendable. Continues to do well, but Najee, Sutton, Amari, Najee, Sutton. I don't know if you can even do anything with that. Trade JD5 for Walker and Darnold or DK. And Darnold. I probably take DK and Darnold for JD5 as much as I don't want to. And then I try and secure it's a 2 QB though. I think I still might. Guys, damn it. If it's redraft, I still might do it. I'd take the gamble on Darnold to get DK in a 2 QB in JD5's rookie year. Just because there's enough, he's going to be amazing a lot of games. There's enough inconsistency that assuming Darnold stays productive enough, this could work out for you at the end of the day. If it was Dynasty, I wouldn't go near it. JD5's untouchable in Dynasty Superflex. But I think to get a DK, that's pretty damn solid, Michael. I'd probably take that gamble and make sure you look and see if AR5's on waivers. Fields. So tough, bro. Any moves? 5-5. Lamar, Mahomes, Bijan, Gibbs, Mixon, Cup, MHJ, CD, DK, Andrews, Ingram. This is a good question. I would probably say, you can't really get rid of Mahomes right now. If you wanted to make any moves, and I don't know that you even need to, I'd probably just sit on this. Killing these trades so far. I'd probably just sit on this, bro. I would say, you could bet on Mahomes and trade Lamar, but, what are you going to upgrade? Gibbs and Mixon and Bijan can't really do better than... You can mix it around, no pun intended, but I'd rather just keep it. Cup and MHJ and CD, DK, you could mix that around too, but, what if you got the right combo there? I'd probably say, see if there's anybody that needs, Mahomes and Andrews or Mahomes and Ingram and roll with the one tight end and see if you can get something cheap like a Hill or upgrade maybe CD into JJ or something like that, Eric. But honestly, I'd just sit on that team. That team is straight fire, and it feels like you could move some of those guys, but what if you move the wrong guy? They're all capable. I love that squad. I feel very, very good about standing down.
Alert. Stand down order in effect.
Very, very good about standing down on that squad, bro. Someone dropped Dobbs worth a pickup. It depends. I mean, look at our waiver wire list, my boy, and tell me if, look how low down he is on that. He's halfway down. I mean, I know the waivers are processed and a lot of these guys are now off the board, but you see the ranking. I show this all week long so you have a good gauge of who to pick up, who's still available. People get injuries all the time, and so you need to have a good waiver wire board to look at every single show. Someone dropped Dobbs, so yeah, I'd say, I don't know, it depends. I can't really blanket statement answer that. I guess he's okay. Gaming, 5-5. Traded Neighbors for Walker to help move into another top wide receiver. Traded Neighbors for Walker. Have Bijan, Gibbs, Achane. Love that. And Walker now. Traded Neighbors for Walker. Okay. Who are the only wide receivers you would target using these running backs? I don't know. To be honest with you, you're not going to want to hear this, but I probably just would have kept Neighbors, and that because that's what's one of the buy lows. I'm going to take Walker and try and turn him into Neighbors, Hopkins, Debo, Cup, Lamb, Hill, Evans, Metcalf. So I don't want to touch Bijan. I don't want to touch Gibbs. I don't want to touch Achane. The only player I want to move is Walker. So Walker for one of those wide receivers. You have DK, you have MHJ. So, maybe you just see if you can get a Debo using Walker. But Magic, I don't know that I would have done that. I think Neighbors is a pretty good bet in that situation. But I'm not moving those RBs. I'm just not. Dell or Hunt. Then try Hunt for a better piece. I don't know that you're going to be able to trade Hunt, bro. I think Hunt's going down in value. There's no trade market for Hunt because Hunt's losing his job maybe after 1 week. It doesn't mean he won't be involved, but he's not the starter once Pacheco's back. So I think I'd rather keep Dell in a sense, unless you have a trade lined up in advance, but no one's going to give you a ton for Hunt. You could try for a player. You'd have to do some sort of player upgrade. I think that's the only thing you'd see. Should I start MVS, Tracy on a buy? I mean, you didn't give me any other options, Miles, so yes, start MVS, but it depends on what you have. 5-5, Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, Lamb, Scary Terry, DK, Kincaid, Najee, Pacheco, Jennings, JMO. Confident on making the playoffs. Any moves you can make. I like the squad a lot. I think looking at the wide receivers, there's tons of upside. I don't think I'd move any of that. I think what I focus on is either trying to get Hunt in some small deal or trade Pacheco to the Hunt owner. But Pacheco, Najee, Chase Brown, and probably JMO or Scary Terry for a big gun. I'm going JJ shopping. I'm going St. Brown shopping. I'm going maybe even shopping for an RB in that situation, like a Hall or a Gibbs or a Kyron or an Achan. Yeah, that's what I'm doing with that package. Najee, Pacheco, Scary Terry. See if you can get one of those RBs. If I can get one of those RBs, I think I'm feeling pretty damn good, like I'm going to win the league. Appreciate you, Spencer and Jasper, dropping your super chats. You both are monsters. Appreciate you all. This one here from Spencer. Trade my AK-41, my Alvin Kamara, and Downs for Gibbs and DK. I'd take Gibbs and DK, bro. It's not even close. Lineup would be, yeah. Dilemma is asking about. This was to fix the wide receiver dilemma I was asking about. Absolutely, bro. I mean, I want Gibbs over Kamara anyway, and DK crushes Downs. So like, you're winning both sides of that trade. That doesn't even make sense why they would do it. It's a fantastic trade. Trade Neighbors for Devontae Smith. Neighbors for Devontae Smith, Bucky, Waddle, DJ Moore. No, I'd rather have Neighbors. Neighbors is a worry, but not somebody I'm getting rid of for that. Cousins or AR5 this week. Cousins as long as he's healthy, but you got to stay on top of that because he's banged up. I trade CD, Lamb, Warren for MHJ, Rashad White. I as much as I love MHJ, I think we're crossing a territory where we're buying MHJ too high. Like, my job is to try and keep us on the tracks. If we start buying MHJ at CD Lamb, even discounted CD Lamb pricing, we're not buying MHJ low anymore. I can't condone that. So no, it's not enough. Lamb should get you more than MHJ, and Rashad White, it's almost enough, I guess, but it's not quite there for me. It's not quite there, and it doesn't mean that couldn't work out. Like, let's say you did that trade. It could work out, but I don't know that it's the value you should be paying just because it could work out. You could buy a $500,000 home for $600,000 and make a mistake, but it still works out because it's worth $800,000 3 years from now. Does that mean you made the right move? No, because you still could have bought the $500,000 house for $520,000 and overpaid a little, bidding war or whatever, but you paid $600,000. It's worth $800,000. Great. You made $200,000, but you could have made roughly $300,000 if you bought at the right price. Give Bijan love to receive Saquon. You have Burrow. I don't know. To be honest with you, bro, Bijan and Saquon are neck and neck right now. Chat, would you rather have Bijan or Saquon? Saquon or Bijan? Love doesn't do much for me here, so it really comes down to, do we value Saquon over Bijan right now, or did Bijan pass him this week? Because he might have. I'm not saying they can't go back and forth either. They definitely could. But let's see what the chat says and see if the chat likes Bijan or Saquon going forward. I feel like they're both neck and neck. I'd draft Bijan 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. I'd draft Saquon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. I'd take Henry or Kyron at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. I'd take Jamar Chase at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overall. Bijan, better schedule, says Joe. Let's see what you guys think. I'm going to put your comments on screen. Bijan, Saquon, Bijan, Saquon, Bijan. I think I'm going to say, God, they're so close, bro. I'm going to say Bijan, but it's really close, bro. Kyron and Higgins or K9 MHJ. Kyron and Higgins. I love K9, I love MHJ, but I love Kyron more than both of them, really. $20 hauler from Tanner. Too much. Thank you, Tanner. Appreciate you, my boy. Got a couple more Bijan votes strolling in. Couple Saquon. Bijan's winning about 65 to 70% on that vote, though. Rockout says check the DM. All right, Rockout, appreciate you. Thank you, pal. I'll check it in a second here. Double flex lineups, JD5, Achane, Gibbs, love that. Jefferson, Debo, fantastic. Not much to do here, I can tell you that right in advance. Chase Brown, love it. Kincaid, okay, maybe there. Maybe Dell, Kincaid. Trade JD5, Gibbs, Dell, Worthy for Stroud, AJB, Puka. Jeez. So AJB, Puka. You'd have Achane. Who would be your running back too then? Chase Brown. So Achane, Chase Brown. You'd have. I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna say keep Gibbs. I like Gibbs. I love JD5. I love what you got going on here. I do like Stroud. I love Puka. I like AJ Brown a ton. This is two very good wide receiver values, but I'm gonna say keep Gibbs because of the construction of your team anyway. I don't know. I love the Achane, Gibbs, Chase Brown. I love Debo, Jefferson. I think you're set up to win, Tanner. I'm gonna say stand down on that. I don't think it's a bad trade, and I think I could actually, if you did it, I could argue it's how it's great. I could argue it 10 different ways to Sunday how good I like it, how much I think it's even Steven. But I just think at the end of the day, when I look at your team, I don't know that your team's better if you make that move. Okay, Togo, appreciate you. Your job is hard, Smitty, says Alexander. A lot of people wouldn't think so, and I enjoy it. My job's the best job, but if anybody thinks they could do this, I'd tell you, right, your mind, there's very few people that wouldn't have a nervous breakdown doing what I'm doing. Like, I'm telling you, it's fun, though. I love it. I get it. I love it. I couldn't think of a better job. Traded Brees for AJB. Smitty approved. I'd rather have Brees Hall, so no, Togo. But it's not a horrible trade, but Brees Hall. Bijan or Achane. Rest of season, I'm going to say Bijan, but they're very, very close. Debo or Garrett Wilson, I'm going to say Debo. Because I think he's on a better team. It's just better. Which IR stash for the playoffs? Olave, Godwin, I'm going to say Olave. But neither one really. Bijan or Achane rest of season. I got that one already. Appreciate that. And then this one right here from Laughin'. Laughin', appreciate you dropping your super chat. We got this one over here. Oh, I got a $20 hauler here from Bravo. Bravo. Too much. Bravo to the moon. Let's see here. Sean, Nico or AJB? Nico. Currently in first, 7-3. What moves to make? Have Burrow, Achane, Kyron, Kamara, Lamb, Terry, Laporta, Kraft, Stroud, Eckler, Ridley, Jennings, Higgins, Brooks, and Pacheco. First place, nice job. 7-3, you're doing something right? So, almost keeping this thing intact. I'd probably say I love the squad. Unless I'm taking like Higgins or Brooks or Pacheco and upgrading Lamb into JJ or into St. Brown, or Terry into St. Brown, or Terry into, JJ, or Terry into, really, I don't know that there's a lot. I think I just keep the squad, bro. I think this is the kind of team that I just think Lamb's a good fit for. Unless you can unless you can upgrade. You got Burrow, and it's one QB, so Stroud, you could roll Stroud and trade Burrow if you wanted to try and use Burrow to get Lamb upgraded into JJ or something. If you could do that, I probably would bet on Stroud. But if I can't turn Lamb into JJ or Chase, which is going to be hard, but I'm just telling you what I would do. Using Burrow, preferably not, or using Pacheco, I don't think I'm moving anything. I think this team is uniquely built to be a Lamb-based team. And I like it. I like it. Lamb fits well there. Neighbors and Tracy for Cup or Puka. I would take either one for Neighbors and Tracy if I had the running back depth. If I didn't have the running back depth, I wouldn't make that trade because Tracy's too important. But if you had the running back depth, I would make it for either one, Cup or Puka, either one. Sold Lamb, MHJ, and Njoku for Bijan and Worthy. Lamb, MHJ, and Njoku. I probably would take Bijan, but you definitely gave him a lot. Like, both of you could win that trade. Again, Bijan over Achane Barely and Debo. You both could win that trade. You gave up a lot on that one. Trade Chuba and Reed for Puka. I would take Puka. I just think he's so damn consistent, bro. He's so damn consistent. That's such a good trade. And laughing, Superflex Dynasty trade Watson, sent it at 25-26 second for Andrews and Devontae Smith. Yeah, bro, there's nothing here. 25 second, 26 second, Andrews and Devontae Smith. I'd take, not that Andrews, is that big of a deal, but Devontae Smith, then flip Kelsey for a late 25 second. No, I'd rather hold on to Kelsey till his wheels fall off versus get a second rounder. Hell no on that one. I have MHJ. No, bro. Find someone that needs to win now, and you can get, buy low on a player. Don't trade Kelsey for a draft pick. A second rounder, bro. Let the house burn to the ground before you give someone Kelsey to win a league. Absolutely not. Second rounder, who cares about second rounders at the end of the day? Try and win a league. Try and find somebody that wants to win a league. Buy a player low. Throw him into a barely upgraded wide receiver move. Like you had somebody's right below, like an MHJ, just giving you an example, and you get MHJ by giving him Kelsey. Like find a way to benefit your team, not a second rounder. Anthony W., you're live.
I'm just trying to buff my team a little bit. I'm good on tight end. I'm good on wide receivers, but I just got a trade offer. It would be his Josh Jacobs for my DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson. I want to see what you thought about that.
His Jacobs would go to you for Swift and what?
TJ Hawkinson.
And who's your tight end, you said?
I got Kelsey and Pitts.
I'd rather have Jacobs. In that situation, yeah. Yeah. You got the depth to do it. I mean, you're giving him a good deal.
My other running backs is Achane and Swift, and then my wide receivers are pretty good. So
yeah,
I just didn't know if Jacobs was injury prone.
Yeah, he is. But that's a good deal. It's a good gamble to take.
Okay. Hey, right, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Later, bro. Appreciate you. Jordan, you're live.
What's up, Smitty? Thank you for all you do, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, buddy. Best job in the world.
You know what? I saw your breaking news earlier on AR5. And I saw him on my waiver wire today and went and picked him up. But I had a dilemma because I had Tillman and McConkey. And I was just wondering, what's your thoughts on those two wide receivers the rest of the season? Which one would you rather have?
What would I rather have? I guess I'd rather have Ladd. He seems very involved. I like that. Yeah. And you think about the fact that Tillman's reliant on the Browns, so that let's just leave. I'm not saying the Chargers are the best team in the league, but that's a much better situation. And you're relying on Herbert, not necessarily Harbaugh or anything. I like Ladd. Both of them feel like you should not expect wide receiver 2 numbers, but if one was locked into your third wide receiver spot, I'm fine with that.
Okay, and just one more question real quick. You think Calvin Ridley could outscore Tyreek Hill rest of the season?
Could he? Yes. Will he? You know what? I'm going to say injury is the concern. Like if Hill doesn't get hurt or shut it down with wrist surgery because the team's losing, then I think Hill will outscore him. I there's a part of me that still wants to buy Hill low, but like 2 weeks from now, there could be a situation where we look back on this and we laugh and we pretend. No, I would have not said Hill. You know what I mean? Like it could get that bad that quick. But I think the reason why Hill is still a buy low is because of this kind of conversation that we're having. And I think people freak out enough that I could get Hill in a lot of situations and I want to get out of Hill in a lot of situations. It's very dual purpose. Like it's so funny to me, and I don't really care, but it's so funny to me how many people come at me and it's like, Smitty, you're flip-flopping, or I told you shouldn't have been low on Hill. And it's like, you can't get me. Go get me a coffee. Yeah. Go get Jordan a coffee. Go get Parm, who's on hold, a coffee. Like, we're playing 3D chess here. Okay, there's tons of different. This is 3D chess. There's a lot of different ways to look at all of this.
Yeah, your buy low, your sell highs, all that makes sense in a sense where Tyreek Hill has his quarterback. if you're not a box score Bobby, you can actually see that he is still as fast as ever. If Tua will get down the field and throw him the ball, I believe he's still the same Hill.
Yeah,
we're just waiting for that pop-off game.
There's definitely good buy low opportunity for Hill still, and even for Lamb. But it's just the only thing is like their original draft value is gone. So if you drafted them and you're in a hole because of it, like think of it this way: people are like, I don't understand, Smitty. Why would you tell one person to buy Hill and one person to sell? Like, what is the rationale behind the root of that? Like, let me show you. It's this simple. If you drafted Hill in round 1, okay, and you're getting nothing from him, then your team is trashed. Your team is losing. Like you, and if he doesn't work out, you literally have nothing. You can't win. You can't win. You've got to figure out a way to buy somebody that also might have been up here that's now ranking down here, and you buy low on them and you luck out. If you're just in a different position, if Hill's like weighing you down, you can't afford one more L. You can't afford to go through 2 more weeks of this. Like, you have to get rid of Hill. But if you didn't draft Hill, you drafted Bijan right here. You got Bijan. In round 2, you drafted, I don't know. Let's even say you went early Josh Allen. Okay, whatever. And in round 3, you took, or let's say you went Kyron here. You went Kyron here. You went Josh Allen here. You got this awesome team. And now you've acquired a couple of these players here in this 3rd, 4th round territory of value. That's what they would be equivalent now. You can afford to consolidate some of that and get a Tyreek Hill. And if he does play like a 2nd round player, something the person that drafted Hill in the 1st round can't afford. If Hill plays like a 2nd rounder, the person that drafted Hill in round 1 still loses. If you buy Hill at 2nd round value, you buying him at 2nd round value, and he plays like that, you have Bijan, Hill, Kyron, Allen, you're crushing everybody. So that's why there's 2 vantage points, and it's so funny to me when people get so bent out of shape when they say, Smitty, I came into your show and you were saying to sell Hill, and now you're celebrating the buy low angle of this thing? Like, you flip-flopper, like, you just don't pay attention.
Right. Nobody knows what the philosophy that you're putting down, man, but I do.
The viewers
Hill,
do. The long, yeah.
If the Dolphins can win some games, he'll be in more competitive games, and they'll be good rest of the season. But if not, he could be one of those divas that you talk about all the time. Lamb, I sold him last week with their advice. Got JT, he's been playing great, getting 100 yards almost every game, no matter what quarterback. So
yeah,
I appreciate your help.
The last thing I'll say, the key thing to a trade is that if you're wrong about it, you want it to be a break-even situation. If you're right about it, you blast them into oblivion. Like, that's the key to the best trade. If you're wrong and the player you sell ends up being as good as everyone else thought and you didn't, you're like, I think he's going to tail off. Like Swift. You traded Swift on the high 4 weeks ago, and he's had some really good games since then. As long as you sold him high, then it probably broke even. But if you're right and he tails off, you crush the trade. That's the only way to trade. And that's why I say when you're making trades and someone sends out 3 offers and like no one's trading in my league, I sent out 3 offers, you're not doing it enough. You got to send 20 offers to the liking and description of what I just outlined. It has to be you making a trade that breaks even, worst case scenario. You got to send out 20 of those to get 1 acceptance. This is a 5% return rate on good trade offers. All right, bro.
Okay. Thank you, Smitty. You're well.
All right, later, bro. Thank you. Let's go over to Mars Man Rock Out. You got a message you sent me. Let me pull that up. All right, let's see what Rock Out's working with tonight.
We killing the game. We fresh to death. We going fresh to this and then fresh to that. We going and we cooking the kitchen like we know the mission like a competition. Taking off. We be going like we scoring a touchdown. MHJ to the moon. Go get 'em.
Get it, Rock Out to the moon. Look at Rock Out. What's up, Rock Out? What can I do for you? You're live.
Yeah, I traded Hill 3 weeks ago, I gave up I gave up Hill, Goff, Goddard, and I got back Cup, Hunt, and Downs.
Say it again. I gotta write this down. That didn't sound like a home run to me, but I might have missed a player. Did you say Cup?
Yeah, I got Cup.
Oh, Cup. Yeah, that's a home run. Okay, Cup, Downs, and who?
Hunt.
For?
And I traded Hill, Goddard, and Goff.
Oh yeah, that's a great trade. Okay, good. Yes, Cup is safer. Hunt's good. Try and trade him away. Hard to get rid of him at this point. We talked about that on the 8 p.m. show, but that's a great trade. You know, Hunt's going to be, you have to be very creative and crafty to try and get rid of Hunt. Hunt's going to require you sending Hunt and another player for one player. There's not much else you can do.
Can I give you my full team?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. My 2 QBs is Murray and Stafford.
One QB or
running back? Okay.
Is it one QB though?
Is it what?
Is it one QB starting though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got Stafford this week.
Okay.
And then my running back, HN, Walker, Hunt, Ray Davis, Tracy. And then wide receiver, Tuck, McLaurin, Downs, MHJ, Shakir, and J-Mo.
Nice. Tight end?
And then tight end probably one. I should probably upgrade. I got Hill and Disley.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good team. I mean, HN, Walker, Hunt, Tracy. Honestly, the wide receivers are pretty electric. You know, trading Terry for a bigger name. What if Terry continues to do what he's doing? What if he gets better? So I don't even care about upgrading the wide receivers. I love the MHJ sneakiness there. Maybe you're using one of these. How about Hunt? What's the Pacheco owner have at tight end?
You said Pacheco?
Yeah, because maybe you're sending Hunt and Taysom Hill or Hunt and Disley for their tight end.
One sec. Who got him?
All right, hang tight, Rock Out. I'll come back to you. Just cook that up. We'll see what's what. Let me go over to Parm from Canada. Parm, what is up?
Hey, Smitty, how's it going, bro?
I'm good, bro. What can I do for you?
Hey, man. So I just sent over a super chat because I know how much you hate writing down full team. So it's the one with Patty.
Hold on. Okay, let me pull that up. Patty. Okay, yeah, I got it. Your $5 hauler. Got it right here. 12 team, 7-3. Stafford, AJB, Garrett Wilson, Amari, Nico, Mixon, Dowdle, Fergie, Tracy. Go ahead.
Yeah, so previously felt super good about this team, but I lost Dak. So now I'm feeling kind of shaky. And I got to be in the stingiest league ever because no one's willing to trade. But I got two or three ideas that I want to run by you, if that's cool.
Okay, hit me with it.
Okay, so I want to upgrade the QB for sure because I don't think Stafford's going to cut it for playoffs. So I got a team with Hurts and HN, and I'm not too sure what I give up because, you know, they're asking for AJB, Wilson, and Mixon, and I think that's too much. But what would you pay for Hurts and HN, kind of that package?
Okay, so Hurts and HN, what did you say was too much?
So they're asking for something like Mixon, AJB, and Wilson, or Nico as well. So something of that kind of combination. I think that totally decimates my team. Though.
Yeah. So Hunt or Hurts and HN. Who's he got as his backup quarterback?
Yeah, he has Kirk. So I'm trying to build up Kirk. And
the problem with this is. The problem with this is you don't need Hurts. I mean, Hurts is an upgrade, but you're trading this. You're making this trade as if almost you need a quarterback, period, and you don't. You have Kyler.
Yeah.
So that's where you're going to get crushed on this trade. I don't even think you can do it. Mixon and HN.
Sorry, did you say I have Kyler?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's your other quarterback?
I'm
Oh,
Stafford. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? I saw the Stafford and Murray, and I was thinking that was your team. That was Rockouts.
Yeah, no worries, bro.
Stafford. There it is. Stafford. Okay. I thought I saw that because Murray's like right above that, so it just kind of went in my mind. Okay, Stafford. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't think I think if I'm doing this, Hurts and HN, I'm only giving up 2. Like, he can choose what he wants, but even that is a tough trade. I think, like, let's say you traded Wilson and Mixon. So this is I'll write it here on the side. Garrett Wilson, who I think is vulnerable, and like not a consistent like player. So Garrett Wilson and Mixon, and I like Mixon a lot, but I would say Achane is very comparable. So Garrett Wilson and Mixon for Achane and Hurts, and even that is tough to do. It gives you a really good team. I think you could win with that. I do think you could, but that's like the most you can do, and that's even like almost a little bit of taking a tiny bath because you're trading a receiver for a quarterback. I would do it though, to be honest with you. I would do it, but if he won't do that, there's nothing you can throw in. You could throw in Amari, you could throw in Dowdle, you could throw in. You could look to throw in Tracy if he threw in somebody else, but like you can't even do that. You can't even give him Garrett Wilson, Mixon, and Tracy for Hurts and Achane. It's just too much value. I do love your team, and let me edit your comment here and put the team that it would be if you made this trade. So if you made this trade, it would be Hurts, AJB, Nico, Achane, Tracy, and Fergie. So this would be your edited team down below. Hurts, AJB, Nico, Achane, Tracy, Fergie. That could win. I like that team a lot. This team is also very good and about the same value. Anything else is going to deplete it too much. But I do love the quarterback scoring that you get here.
Yeah, because Hurts is dropping a consistent 25, 30 points, right?
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it, but that's it. You can't. You throw in AJB on top of it. It's just not the same trade.
Yeah, exactly.
If you did Tracy, I could stomach that, but I'd try and get something else back. But you can't throw an AJB, and I wouldn't even give him AJB. I'd rather have AJB than Garrett Wilson. I'd say no, I'm not trading AJB. And you can just tell him is if I'm getting Hurts, I want the stack. I'm not doing it if I just make it seem like it's an off the table thing, and tie it to the stack. It's like I'm not trading one and not having him. No.
Yeah.
All right, Patty, bring it back to me when you got it got it under control. All right, later.
Smitty, can I hit you with one last one?
One last one, quick.
One last one, quick one. Another idea I had. Guys 4 and 6. He has CJ Stroud and DK and Evans. What if I do something like AJB for Evans and Stroud, or DK for AJB for DK or Stroud?
Yes, I'd take DK. I would take DK and Stroud over AJB for your situation. I think Stroud will get on his horse, bro. I don't love the way he's played. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. I'd probably just do that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, later, bro.
Perfect. Thank you so much, bro.
Marsman Rock Out. What did you have for me, real quickly, on this?
Yeah, you got Fryer Move and Laporta.
Okay, so Laporta, Hunt and Taysom Hill, or if he doesn't want Taysom Hill, whatever, maybe Downs. With the AR5 back, Downs goes down a little bit in value. So Downs and Hunt, but I'd try and do Hunt for Laporta. Bro, he's got Pacheco. He's going to take that. That's a smash.
All right. Let's see. Hopefully he's not deniable.
Yeah. Delusional. All right. Jordan hung up. All right. Thanks, Rock Out. Call back if you got another one. Appreciate you. Joe, you're live. And I'll get these super chats next.
Hey, Smitty.
Yo, what's up, Joe?
So I have a super flex league at the moment. My quarterbacks aren't the best, I'll be honest. They are Geno, Tua, and Russell Wilson. I think that's really fun. Yeah, exactly. That's what I need to upgrade on at the moment. And I'm trying to get Kyler. I wanted to ask, like, what's a good option to go after Kyler? I have, like, Aaron Jones on the bench at the moment. I'm deciding between DK and Hill. What would you do?
I don't want to trade DK or Hill. Look, I hate to tell you this, bro, but trading for Kyler now is I get it. I mean, it's the wrong time. Like, last week he was free.
He's still a little scared. He did tell me he's like still a little scared.
Okay, well, tell him this. Say, you know what? I don't know, man. I'm a little scared to acquire him. I'll be honest. The moment I get him, I know he's going to crap the bed. I mean, this is your upselling or you're downselling it. And then say the most I would do is give you, and this is even crazy, give you a starting running back, Aaron Jones. Like, if you need to get a quarterback, then I'm fine with that. If he's on your bench, Aaron Jones is on your bench. But, I mean, that's the most I'm doing, bro.
Probably just Aaron Jones straight up, even in a super flex.
Oh, it's a super flex. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. That's really the only reason I'm only scared of it, because right now, like, I have really good wide receivers, running backs. It's just quarterback. I failed on A-Rich.
Yeah, you got AJB and who?
Let's say at the moment for what, AJB, I don't have AJB.
Oh, sorry. Who are the receivers you were willing to give up?
The receivers right now I have that I'd be willing to give up, I have Garrett Wilson, I have DK, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and those would be like in Hill.
Okay, Hill. Oh, sorry, it was Hill. Okay, I'd give up Garrett Wilson for Kyler in a millisecond in a super flex. I'd do it for Hill. I'd probably try and keep DK, so try and make DK off limits. But I'd do it for Hill. I'd try and do it for Garrett Wilson first. Obviously, I'd give up JSN. Yeah, in a super flex, you have to take this, but that's super flex. Okay, so totally different. But if he's willing to get rid of him, bro, you draft him in end of round 1 if you're starting over today. So you got to do that trade.
Sounds good, Garrett Wilson, straight up. Thank you.
Yeah, easily. All right, later. Yeah, super flex is totally different. A DJ dropping a 20 wad. Tumas. That's my boy. DJ coming in with a 20 wad. This is 2 QB, Carr, Stroud. Blech. Well, Stroud's okay. AR5, man, the beginning of the year, your QBs look lit. You had Stroud and AR5. You had 2 top 5 potential quarterbacks. God, how the mighty have fallen. It's crazy. I think Stroud comes around. AR5 is really intriguing, though. I would go AR5 and Stroud, obviously, and you, this week, and you see what's what. But let's see here. What's the question? Running backs: Achane, Stevenson, Estime, Dell, Amon-Ra, Puka. Like the team. Goddard, Kraft. Got offered my AR5, Estime, and Kraft for Mac Jones, Walker, Gesicki. I think this is a redraft. You don't see Dynasty anywhere. I'd probably say in a super flex, you almost have to keep the AR5 side. I like Walker, bro. I love Walker, but in super flex, you got to bank on AR5 scoring fantasy points. This is hard to say no to the Walker side because the redraft, part of my soul is just saying, Walker, oh my God, go get him. But you gotta lean into that quarterback's value. You have to. There's no way to go around that. You have to keep the AR side's better. The AR5 side's better. Appreciate you, bro. This one from Greg: trade Burrow and Tracy for Stroud and Cook. Jeez. I think Burrow and Tracy right now. I want to buy into Cook at that value for sure in Stroud, but Stroud hasn't proven it. I'm going to go Burrow, Tracy. Very close, though. Very arguable for sure. Don't let anybody make you think that that's not something you should waver on. If you win either way, I'd support it. $9 hauler starters: Lamar, May, Brees, Kyron, Debo, DK, Ingram, T in the flex. Bench: AR5, Brooks, Braylon, Corum, Tillman, Jennings, JSN. What trades to upgrade QB, tight end? What do you mean upgrade your QB? You got Lamar Jackson. Is this 2 QB starters? Lamar, May. I don't know if this is a 2 QB league. You didn't say, so I'm assuming no. I don't know why you would upgrade QB. Tight end, I could see wanting to get, go Laporta. Laporta for T. Higgins. Laporta for T. Higgins and Jennings. Laporta for... Ingram's great, though. Ingram's fine. I'm going to tell you to stand down on quarterback and tight end, unless this is super flex. Maybe it is super flex because you say starters and bench and you have May in there. Okay, so I'm going to assume this is super flex. So May and let's call it May and T, May and bro, you don't have much on your bench to really do anything. You can't really upgrade anything. Like, what are you going to do? You'd have to give up Debo, and then you're hurting a wide receiver. T. Higgins, no one's buying T. Higgins. So T. Higgins in May for like a tiny upgrade, maybe. I don't know, bro. I think you're kind of stuck with May. I don't think there's a way to upgrade May. I don't see it unless you could trade Kyren, which I don't think you're going to be able to do. Trade right now off a bad game because people freak out. But Kyren for like, and you already have Breece Hall. Kyren for, let's say, Gibbs. And then you get a May upgrade quarterback into a Kyler or something like that. There's really no way to change this team too much. You can't. You could sell, like, if someone's got two good quarterbacks, great, or one great and one really good quarterback, you could try doing a Lamar trade for that, but that's so hard to imagine happening. I don't think you can do anything. I don't think there's anything to do with this team but trade Kyren into 2 players. But if you do that, you better be smart about it, because I do not want you sending Kyren off unless you're getting 2 absolute monsters. Got offered Flowers for Evans, worried about the hammy. I'd rather have Evans, bro. You're a worried Williams, though. You worry about stuff that's not there yet. Like, I know he's coming back from the injury, but you're assuming that the injury is going to continue to be a problem. Traded Isaiah Pacheco, J.K. Dobbins for Hall. That is a smash. That is an absolute smash. What trades need this week so bad? Jaden, Neighbors, MHJ, Pickens, Tillman, J-Mo, Gibbs, Achan. Look, Gibbs and Achan, fantastic, bro. Love it. Otten's playing out of his mind. You need to trade one of these tight ends. Tracy and Hawkinson, Otten and Tracy, J-Mo, Tracy, Otten, potentially even, something along the lines of Neighbors and Otten, or Neighbors and Hawkinson. You're going to get a JJ. You're going to get a Tracy, and Otten gets you into a Breece Hall, potentially into maybe you trade one of those tight ends for Lamb, one of those tight ends for Tyreek Hill. Those would be good moves for you. I like that a lot. That would be a solid move. Trade CD Lamb and Achan for Bijan and Higgins. Achan and CD Lamb. No, I don't think I'd trade Achan and CD Lamb for that, bro. Pick 2 PPR, London, Puka, Garrett Wilson, or Jacobs. Pick 2 London, Puka, Garrett Wilson, or Jacobs. London, Puka, Garrett Wilson. Give me London and Puka. London and Puka. Thank you. Matt J with the super chat. Matt J says, I'm a new guy in a keeper league. Season's done. I can't keep anybody, so I sent him away. Trade 1 Kamara for JSN, 6th rounder. Brooks, 5th rounder. Warren. I guess if you that sucks. You got to make that trade though. But yeah, JSN's pretty decent, I guess, if you have no keepers, unless you do this. Trade 2, JT plus London for Bucky in the 14th and Puka in the 10th. I like that. Go get Puka. Like, if you're telling me that JT, you can't win, and JT and London you can't keep, then you got to take that Puka one, that trade 2. Puka gives you some future, at least. If I'm understanding that right, if I didn't get it right, make sure you don't do it until Adam, Smitty, Mooney, and Debo want a package 2 for a better one. Which 2? Mooney and Devontae Smith for Debo, Cup, or Puka. Same thing with Adams. St. Brown. Have Nix, Adams, BT, Debo, Kyron, Jacobs, Tracy, Kittle. Your bench, there's not much to trade here. CMC drafter made a lot of moves, 5-5. Any moves? Debo, BT, it's a good team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you got any trade value on the bench at all. Maybe you could trade Waddle and let's say Jacobs for like a slight upgrade. Maybe someone will panic on Breece Hall, panic on HN, panic on Gibbs. Maybe you could trade Tracy and you could trade Kittle. Pick up. You got Taysom. I mean, you can roll the dice on that. Trade Kittle and Tracy for Breece Hall, for a Gibbs, for an HN, for a St. Brown or higher at wide receiver. Sketches. Those would be decent moves for you. You take a little bit of a gamble by getting rid of your tight end, but it's a good trade bargaining piece to get into something different, to spice it up when you can't really maneuver a bench player because you don't have many bench players that really trade of value. 5-5, QB Stroud, Wilson, Hall, HN, Tracy, Hunt, Brooks, Garrett Wilson, Puka, Scary Terry, Dell, Hawkinson. Any upgrades, try and pursue. Puka, McLaurin, love that. Garrett Wilson, hesitant. Garrett Wilson and Hunt, Garrett Wilson and Tracy. I'm trying to get myself into honestly, like a Garrett Wilson and Tracy could maybe get you, JJ could maybe get you something along those lines. If it doesn't, then, I mean, you could go Garrett Wilson for like Lamb and take a risk. You could go Garrett Wilson for Hill and take a risk and just say, look, I'm putting it on the line here. At 5-5, I need Lamb or Hill to be what they were. And it's a decent and fun gamble to take. And Garrett Wilson's in a volatile spot. It's not like Garrett Wilson's a safe player. You know, I like Garrett Wilson a lot, just like I like Lamb a lot, just like I like Hill a lot, but they're vulnerable players. So you mix it up, get a different vulnerable piece, one that has a little more swing, take a gamble. Superflex, QBs, Kyler, May, trade Neighbors and Dobbins for Burrow. Yes, in a super flex, I do that. It's tough to say that, but Neighbors. But in a super flex, have DK, then try and trade May and get into another receiver somehow. Like a buy low, like a Debo, or try and figure out something May and something for Debo, May and something for Evans, May and something for a receiver like MHJ. Then you're back in the saddle, baby, at wide receiver. Have DK, Debo, T, Tillman, JSN, Evans. Forget to add Evans. Why to made to upgrade Superflex? Evans, okay. Ivy, let me see. Let me see if I can find your super chat. Ivy, hang tight. Or Broski. What is your name? Ive3 Brosify. Okay. I'm calling you like different names. You're not even Broski. You're not even Ivy. So Lamar, May, Breece. Okay, so maybe Evans. Yeah, maybe you throw Evans into that mix instead. Everything I said, just use Evans instead of DK. Just because I like DK more than Evans. But Evans is solid. He's older. He's an injury risk. I'd rather keep Debo. I'd rather keep DK. So everything I said, just apply it with Evans. I mean, Evans is definitely the player I would want to move of that crew. Like if I saw that earlier, I would have definitely laser locked on Evans and said, look, he's your expendable piece. He just is. He's just older. The risk is there. 1 QB, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex. Jaden Daniels, Barkley, Mixon, Dobbins, Hunt, Tracy, AJB, Puka, Hopkins, Otten, Hawkinson. Who would you trade to upgrade at flex? I think your best opportunity. Thank you, Plato, for becoming a loyal member, my guy. Oscar, I think your opportunity here is to potentially move. You got Hawkinson and Otten, so we're moving one of those players, and we're trying to get Dobbins or Tracy or Hunt or both of them turned into something significant to the Hill, Lamb, buy low territory. Let me see if I can copy this over and get onto the other screen, because I think we can look at this list right here So let's say we were to get, Matt, I think I left 2 super chats over here. Matt, are you still here? Matt J still here? And is Patty S still here? I'm so sorry, guys. I left you over here and I went to that other screen. Are Matt J and Patty S here? I am so sorry. I'll give you both standing ovations if you're here. Matt J still here. Matt J, I'm so sorry, bro. Matt J, let him cook.
Let him cook.
I'm sorry, Matt J. You already answered it? Oh, okay. Matt J got a standing O. Patty S, did I answer this one? Nico Dowdle, maybe I did. 12 team, 7-1 flex Stafford. AJB. Oh, Patty's the one that called in. I think we're good. Okay, I didn't neglect nobody. Okay, Oscar. This team right here, you got to go Otten or Hawkinson with Dobbins or Hunt or Tracy. So let's say Otten because that's the high value target or tradeaway target. You got AJ Brown and Puka. It's a good team. Barkley, love it. So Otten and Tracy for Cook, Hall, Gibbs, HN. I mean, you could throw Hill and Lamb into this conversation. Do you have either one of them? No. I mean, they're in this cup. They're all in this wheelhouse, bro. MHJ would be one of them. You wouldn't give up both. I would give up like Hawkinson for MHJ. That would be fantastic. Would I do Otten for MHJ? With Hawkinson, yeah, I probably would. Because you got a solid tight end either way. Yeah. All right. Phone lines for just a few minutes.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Just a few 20-second calls. Where's Denny? Denny calls in really early. Like, he tries to get in before he passes out. And if I don't answer quick enough, he just stops calling and then he never comes back. So he probably gets mad, throws the phone into the couch and passes out face first, forgets he did it. But I try and answer for Denny, but he tries to call too early. He tries to call before he hits the pillow and he can't make it long enough. Maybe he's watching, I don't know. Denny, if you're watching, I'm here for you, pal. Hopkins a buy low, absolutely, Chris. Not the cheapest buy low in the world, but he's a buy low for sure. I mean, some are cheaper than others. Was offered Tyreek for my Lamb. That's a even Steven swap of risk, bro. You could go either way. I suppose I would lean toward lamb chops because Tyreek has a torn wrist ligament. You know what I'm saying? 775. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Adam from Reno. I just got a trade thing that I wanted you to take a look at. I'm trying to get James Conner because his rest of the season is amazing. How do you feel about Debo and Herbert for that trade?
Debo and who?
Herbert.
Who's your quarterback if you trade Herbert?
I've got Joe Burrow. I only picked up Herbert to cover for Burrow's bye week.
Okay, so Debo and Herbs for James Conner. I don't hate this trade. Who would I rather have in a vacuum, Debo or Conner? Probably Debo. But if you're good at RB, okay, running back's what you need, I could easily make an argument that Conner's the better player. And to be honest with you, I mean, Conner's looks fantastic when you give him the ball. It's just a matter of does he get hurt or something because he's an older player. Ziggy, how old is James Conner? Is he 29? 29 years old. Ziggy, volume 10. Yeah, he's 29 years old. But like, I mean, it's not like it's not like you could definitely, the season's already, week 11. Are we really going to worry about someone breaking down from week 11 to 17? We can't really think like that. So honestly, if this is what makes you sleep at night and you have the extra value to give this up, then I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I have Nico, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, and Cedric Tillman.
I'd rather give up Garrett Wilson.
He's not going to make that trade. He doesn't want to touch it. He'd rather have Debo.
Yeah, and what was the other one? You said Garrett Wilson and who?
Devontae Adams.
He won't
also have Nico.
He won't do Adams?
He won't do Adams or Garrett Wilson. He doesn't like the guy.
Yeah, because I want the player on the better team, but it is what it is at this point, bro. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Okay. I'm fine with it. It's just, Debo's gonna have a good year, but Connor could too. So, again, Debo's my answer, but I very close. All right, later, bro.
Later.
This just comes down to roster build, what you need, etc. When it's very, very close. But it just the way Connor plays, though, he's so tough. If you got, I should have asked him if you could get. If you're still listening, bro, try and cuff him. If Benson's there on the waiver wire, grab him. All right, broskies. Appreciate you watching the Buy Low Show. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm live Monday through Friday. We got one more caller. Let's go one more. 314. What's your name and where you calling from? You're live. 314.
Hey, what's going on?
What's your name and where you calling from?
Smitty.
God. All right, I'm out of here. Appreciate you all. Don't forget to subscribe. Like the video on the way out the door. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already on the way out the door. Hold on, we got one more. We got one more caller. We got a special caller. He hasn't called in a while. No, it's not Denny. This is Ron Navy. Ron Navy, we haven't heard from you in a little bit. What is going on?
No, how you doing?
What's up, my guy?
I've been busy. I got a lot of things on my plate, but so what are you thinking about tomorrow's game? Who are you taking?
That's tough. My heart wants to say JD5. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to say JD5. I'm going to say Washington. You know why? Because Sirianni is dog water. And I think as good as this Eagle team is, they can knock off anybody at any moment, any given Sunday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday. But I just think I'm betting on the full picture, the entirety of the team. I think JD5's been kind of in a rookie wall phase where he's so good, his rookie wall is just being good, not great. I think JD5 steps up in these double-digit weeks and starts making a push for the MVP consideration again. So I'm going to go with JD5. It's tough. Philly's been playing tough. Their defense is good. It's in Philly. But I'm gonna roll with Washington here, and I'm gonna say Sirianni screws it. Screws the pooch.
You think?
I don't know. It's a Thursday game. I don't know. Anything can happen. Thursday game, they could both lose.
Yeah. One more thing.
Yeah.
Okay. On the spot here about what do you think about the Steelers-Baltimore game?
It's in Pittsburgh, right? So, I don't know. Part of me wants to say that I feel like Tomlin is, and I don't know if this is from hearing you say it so many times that I just start believing it, but part of me is rooting against Tomlin at this point. I'm so bent out of shape, not because it ruined a prediction of mine. We were right. At the end of the day, I don't even care how it turns out. We were right. Fields started week 1. Like, that's what we all said on this channel. People laughed at us. The part that really bothers me about Tomlin is the way he did not set Fields up for success. It's almost like a parent that favors one child very, very badly and makes the other one feel like garbage. And the way he looks when Russell Wilson wins, the way he looks when the team wins with Russell Wilson is different than when he won with Justin Fields. And it just pisses me off. Like when he won that game, when Russ had a horrible beginning and Pickens absolutely saved him and just turned the tide. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand watching it. So I'm probably not the right person to ask because I'm rooting against Tomlin at this point. I'm rooting against the man who didn't set Fields up, and I'm pissed that Fields is going through 2 neglectful situations, and it just bothers me. It bothers me. So, and I'm going to say, at the end of the day, I do believe the Ravens are a better overall team. But the thing about the Steelers is they just find a way to win. And so it's a hard one to like, I don't know that I put money on it or anything, you know? I think it's just more so my heart.
You know, in the last 4 years, you know what the record is between the Steelers and the Ravens in the last 4 years?
What is it?
7-1 Steelers.
Yeah.
Steelers shut down. That's why I think one of the reasons why we were able to beat Washington in JD5 is because Steelers know how to contain Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And use the same game.
But with Henry, though, it's going to be different for the first time. I think, you know, Lamar's been pretty easy. He's one-dimensional without Henry, and it's just a little bit different of a deck of cards. So I kind of feel like using history on this one might not be the way to go. But I think it's going to be a good game. That's for sure.
It always is. It's always a close game. I'm not saying that we're going to blow them out. No,
Yeah.
It's always a hard fought game, and it's always usually close. But you know, I mean, last year the Ravens went to the playoffs. They won the division, but the Steelers beat them both times last year. So we'll see. You know, the team I'm scared to play because we got to play them twice still. Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati should have won that game against the Ravens.
Yeah, they're playing good, man. They're playing good. And Joe
They're
Burrow.
playing really good.
Joe Burrow plays great against certain teams too, like in ways that you can't explain. It's just crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be this is gonna be a great slate of games. I know we got a few of the teams off. We got the four teams on bye. Giants, Cardinals, Bucks, Panthers. But at the same time, you're only losing Chuba Hubbard. You're only losing really the Otten and the Bucks running backs. You're only losing MHJ. It's really you're losing. I don't know who I added somebody in. It's just like they got the freaking volume up, bro. You got it. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, Juan? Juan, you're out of here. Jeez. I don't know why you call in with the volume up and I got the background of the show just blaring, Juan. You don't have that many big name players out. It's Neighbors, Tracy, and then the Cardinal players and then Chuba. That's really kind of it. It's a lot. It's still a lot. But this will be a very good bounce back week, I think. We got the Texans and Cowboys Monday night. We got the Bengals and Chargers Sunday night. KC Buffalo matchup is going to be awesome. All right. Anything else, Ron?
No, I'll let you go. I know you wanted to get off here. I just wanted to call in and say hey and see what you thought about those games right there.
All right,
I haven't got on the last couple of days, so.
All right, later, Ron. Appreciate you.
Later.
Yes, sir. You got 10 seconds. Ron took 30 of yours.
What's up?
What's up?
What's up, man? You're sounding better today. So
yeah, I'm all right.
So a quick question. I have Patrick Mahomes and JD5. Who would you start this week?
Patrick Mahomes or JD5?
This week, yeah. I'm 8-2 in this league because it's only an 8-man. And I got JD5 on waivers. I got Trey McBride on waivers. So
jeez.
I picked up Taysom Hill for this week. So it's either JD5, Patrick Mahomes, and Taysom Hill or Zach Ertz.
Juan, call back in again. Juan, call back in. It's fine. Just make sure you put yourself on mute real quick. I'll give you 20 seconds, Juan. No problem.
Tucker Kraft.
All right, so what's the overall question?
Patrick Mahomes or Jaden Daniels?
JD5. Okay, guys, vote on that one, please. Mahomes or JD5? Mahomes or JD5? Vote in the chat, please. Juan, call back in. Mahomes, JD5. Mahomes, JD5.
And then would you start Taysom, or would you go with somebody like Ertz, Tucker Kraft, Smith, Disley?
Jonu.
I think Hill would.
Jonu,
really? Okay.
I guess I'd go with Taysom Hill if you need a big swing, bro. Like high risk, high reward play. The chat voted almost unanimously JD5, and there's like 15 straight votes. So there you go. I'm not gonna say it's not close though. I mean, but JD5, just his running ability alone, you know. And Kraft is a nice play.
Yeah, exactly.
Jonu's been doing really well though. Jonu's your safe play. Taysom Hill or Kraft are your higher risk, higher reward plays.
Gotcha. And you have a second for a trade possibility in my other league?
All right, real quick.
All right. So I'm 4-6, 9 out of 10. I had Nico Collins, or have had Rashee Rice, so that messed me up. But my flex is Najee Harris. I have Hawkinson, Bijan and Kyron.
This is not quick, bro. This is not quick. Yes, sir. You got to ask me the question.
Okay. So I'm trying to get rid of Najee Harris, and I have Quentin Johnston, Pearsall, and a bunch of scrubs on the bench. Yeah. Or Tillman. I want to try to package Harris and Tillman for somebody.
Okay. Harrison Tillman for MHJ. Harrison Tillman for Neighbors on a bye. Harrison Tillman for Debo, who's doubted. Harrison Tillman for Hopkins. Look at this list right here. Gives you everything you need to know. Metcalf, Evans, Hill, all these guys. I take any one of them for Najee, Harrison, Tillman. If you need a wide receiver, every single one of the wide receivers on my screen right here. Be perfect. And Najee for Jaden Reed if you need something else. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
1 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Later, bro. Call back anytime. Juan, I'm sorry I had to hang up on you. It was too loud. You got 20 seconds, Juan, and then I got to disconnect. Go. 20 seconds. Go.
All right, Smitty. I'm trying to get rid of CD, man.
All right.
And I'm trying to cuff him with somebody, but on my bench, well, I'm trying to cuff him. For my starters, I have Purdy, Jacobs, Walker, Metcalf, Mooney, Goddard, and Reed. And then for my bench, I have Noah Brown.
Bro, I'm kind of zonked. I'm not retaining any of this. Just try and give me the question if you got it, and I'll.
Whoa.
So you trying to trade who?
Okay. I'm trying to trade CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, Lamb for. I mean, can you, just in general, can you get your hands on a Gibbs or Hall? You may have just listed off one of those. Just ignore the player if you own them. H.N. Gibbs, Hall, Cooper Kupp, maybe Debo Samuel, Metcalf. I mean, MHJ and a running back, MHJ and a Tracy or something like that, MHJ and a Chuba Hubbard. Like, can you get your hands on something like that?
Yeah, I didn't think about the Chuba. Yeah, I could think about Chuba.
Tracy's a really good. James Cook would be fantastic. I'd almost take James Cook straight up if you needed an RB and did not need the wide receiver help.
No, I don't need a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think that would be okay. MHJ and a player would be awesome, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and pitch that out there. Just kind of seeing if there's anybody going for CD anymore, or is he really low buy?
Yeah, I like CD. I like CD a lot in some cases, and like I said, I'm trying to get rid of him in others. It just really kind of depends.
Yeah, because I just see him targeting him a lot, but his targets aren't landing. So.
Yeah. So. All right, bro.
But yeah, I'll try and couple. Oh, thanks for your help, man.
All right, bro.
You sound like you're getting better.
Yeah, it's I'm on the second day of the Z-Pack meds for flu or cold or whatever. So we'll see how tomorrow looks. Congestion wise is pretty bad, but I'll take some Mucinex tonight and hopefully be able to sleep. I haven't slept really well for like 3 days. That's really the hard part. Yeah, I don't know about you. When you get like a flu, do you have like reoccurring weird dreams and stuff. Like he's restless.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's the worst. I had a dream I was in a pumpkin patch and I couldn't get out. It's just, that's it.
Really?
It was a nightmare. It was one of the biggest nightmares of my life. Like I was literally a terror when I wake up, and all it was pumpkins. There wasn't anything scary. I just couldn't get out. I'd go back to sleep. I'd be in the pumpkin patch right in the middle of it again. I'd be trying to get out. Then you try and get out. And then I wake up. I'm tossing and turning. I go back to sleep. I'm back in the pumpkin patch over and over and over. I cannot stand these repetitive dreams. I'd rather be in the worst nightmare of my life than to be in a repetitive pumpkin patch.
I do find it so funny when you fall asleep and then get back in your
I can't
dream,
hear
right?
you. I can't hear you, bro. I can't hear a word you're saying.
I said it's kind of funny when you can fall asleep again and get back into your dream that you were dreaming about.
Yeah, you can't do it when you want to, but when you're in a pumpkin patch, you go straight back to the middle of it, bro. It's like you're in Minecraft. Just straight back to the middle, and there I am. These pumpkins everywhere. I can't, and I'm just walking one after the other, one after the other. Yeah. All right, I gotta go. Later, bro. All right, CP, appreciate your super chat. I mean, that's the worst. The restless dreams are the worst. It's the worst part about being sick and having the flu. I'd rather go into a bathroom and touch the flusher. Should I trade? If I could have a good night's sleep, I'd go into the public restroom and sleep under the sink. Maybe not near the urinals or anything, but like maybe where it's the cleanest it could be, like under the sink. You know, the big long sink with like the 5 different. I would sleep on the floor in a I'm a germaphobe. I would sleep on the floor in the bathroom if I could have a good night's sleep versus those restless dreams. Screw the pumpkins, bro. Let's see here. Trade Saquon and Debo for CMC and Scary Terry. Trade Saquon and Debo for CMC and Scary Terry. Look, there's arguments to be made here, but I'm taking the Debo Saquon side. Should I trade CD and Swift for Gibbs? I would take Gibbs and run. Absolutely. This one here, criteria, 10-man. Criteria says 10-man, 2 QB Superflex. I have Mixon, CMC, Bijan, Gibbs. Love the running backs. I mean, I don't know if you can start all those, then perfect. If not, you got to trade one of them. Wide receivers, Wandell, J-Mo, Pearsall, Coleman, tight ends, Hawkinson, McBride. So, what in the hell? This is like a bowling pin. Your team's like a bowling pin. You've got this really strong foundation with the running backs in it. Just your team has an hourglass figure criteria. The criteria for your team, you missed it. What are we doing with this hourglass figure you got there? Okay, so I guess I would say, geez. I don't know what to do here. Trade Mixon for one of the elite wide receivers here, or CMC. I'd rather keep Mixon, Bijan, and Gibbs. I would trade CMC. I would rather get rid of CMC. Let's trade CMC for Cup, JJ, St. Brown. I mean, honestly, it's hard to do some of these. Like maybe Puka and something, Cup and something. If you go DK, you need to get something. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of, man. Other than that, I don't know what else to do. This team is so lopsided. I've never seen something like that in my life. Wandell. J-Mo's good, though. I like that piece of this. And trade one of the tight ends, Hawkinson, McBride. So maybe a 2-for-2. Christian McCaffrey, or do 2... I mean, if you could start all 4 running backs and you could trade Hawkinson or McBride, whichever one, for a Debo, then you're set. For Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, maybe even Hopkins, and then you're kind of good. Maybe if you can start all 4 RBs, do that first. Try that first, my boy. That's the negative wide receiver strategy. 10 team 4 and 6. Allen, Kyron, Monty, Swift, Bucky, Brooks, CD, Debo, Sutton, BTJ. Trades should I make? I need to win now for the playoffs. Allen, Kyron, Monty. So Swift, expendable. Bucky, expendable. Sutton, BT, expendable. What about Swift and BT for Lamb or Hill or you got CD. Damn it. Let's go. What about Swift and Monty for Hall or HN? Swift and BT for Hill, Swift and BT for Debo, Swift and BT for Cup or Puka, Swift for MHJ. All right, well, back to the pumpkin patch for me. Appreciate all of you, and thank you for the super chats. Thank you all for making this the best community in the world. Don't forget that I'm over on Patreon, and I'll probably be there a little bit tonight. $10 a month, cancel anytime, so you could just do it for November and December and pay $20. It's like going to get 2 or 3 coffees. You get a live chat environment for the rest of the season, until you stop paying the $10 a month. Patreon.com/The Fantasy Football Show. The Patreon link is right here. I think I've pinned it as well. No, I've got the Underdog link for anybody that wants to do Underdog promo code Smitty. Tomorrow on the 8 p.m. show, right before the game kicks off, I will have my picks on Underdog for the Thursday night game. That link is pinned in the live chat, so click that if you want to play Underdog. Draft a Week 11 team, do some pick'ems. They'll match your first deposit 50% up to $1,000. The minimum's only $10. Thank you, Alexander. Appreciate the kind words. Alexander says thank you. Thank you being always there. Thank you, pal. Appreciate you. Don't forget my thefantasyfootballshow.com. That's my written content, bowl predictions, rankings. I've done this for 24 plus years. One of the first fantasy football content sites up. So I've been doing this for more than 2 decades. It was 19 straight years of radio, NBC, CBS Sports Radio, and this puppy right here. Created, I believe, hard to know back then because there wasn't a lot of like big name content sites out there. So somebody could have been working on one and, it wasn't big or published. But I believe I invented the first trade calculator and draft simulator in the industry in 2003, which is why I got into the industry, started going on radio, and then did the longest running fantasy football radio show in the world. Went 23 years. I was a part of it for 19, and I did this site. This is really the bread and butter of where I started, is the content. So use code DRAFT for 10% off if you want to get on over there and get a membership. The 2020, you can get a lifetime membership now and not have to pay next year. Just get the lifetime membership, but next year it's going to be off the hook. I'm going to divide the site into Dynasty and Redraft, and it's going to make it very simple to know where to go, and it's going to be color coordinated. Essentially, I'm developing it right now, but it's going to be Dynasty and a Redraft split. It's going to be amazing. Get ready for it. Trade calculators, bold predictions, all that, video courses. Go to thefantasyfootballshow.com for that. And $10 a month, Patreon, cancel anytime. It's basically all it is live chats and audio live streams. I go live on there during the graveyard streams. Because I've been sick, I haven't been doing it the last couple of days. I'll get back to it hopefully tomorrow. I'll do graveyard audio live stream. It gets republished. If you miss it, you can replay it, about an hour or so after I go live. It'll be available for replay. Appreciate you all. The Patreon link, one more time, is right here. Again, hit that Underdog Fantasy link. I'll see you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. Tomorrow we should have, I don't know what we'll do tomorrow's video. Maybe a Panic Chamber episode. Something of that, to that degree. Panic Chamber. We'll figure it out. I'm sure there'll be news tomorrow as well. News tomorrow. Panic Chamber, ranking video of some sort. We'll figure it out. Replay crew, if you're just coming in the door, you know what to do. Hit the replay, do it live. Appreciate you all. Back to the pumpkin patch I go, where I belong. I deserve it. Later.